We continue to cover the Dan Wootton investigation by Byline Times. This headline is their celebrity targets have been revealed. Let's read more into it, guys. Let's go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, guys, wherever you are in the world. This is REGANELITE here with another exclusive from Byline Times. Byline Times continuing their story on Dan Wootton, and the celebrity targets have been revealed. In the 8th part of its 3-year special investigation into the private and professional conduct of GB News star Dan Wootton, Byline Times uncovers how the powerful journalist used the pretext of underwear modelling to targeting young reality TV personas. Here for the first time, these people in the public eye speak out. It's not looking good. More and more of this is piling up, guys. So let's read into it. Dan Wootton met young male reality TV stars throughout his work as a prominent show business journalist, and then privately proposing them to do photo shoots at his home in underwear brands in an home abuse of power, Byline Times can reveal. Among those Wootton targeted over an 8-year period between 2011 and 2019, during which he was working for The Sun, ITV and the Daily Mail, were The Only Way's Essex star Kirk Norcoss, Big Brother contestant JJ Bird, and an X Factor singer who was just out of his teens. Each had first encountered Wootton, today a TV presenter on GB News, as a result of their involvement in the television industry, in which was a highly paid job to report and through which he enjoyed a powerful media influence. Wootton, on his first day as a columnist and feature writer for the Daily Mail in December 2011, when he approached Big Brother Series 11 contestant JJ Bird, then 25, who is today a boxing trainer and also had been a pro fighter. Mr. Bird, who refuses Wootton offers, is among the first group of people in the public eye to discuss their interactions with Wootton. He told Byline Times, "Dan told me he was an amateur photographer and he was working with underwear brands. He invited me to a test shoot with his flat and with a fee attached. And at that time, I was trying to fund my boxing career and develop my career as into entertainment." Dan was a big name in the world of showbiz journalism who had power to do that. Plus, anywhere where I was going to receive payment would obviously have been very useful. Looking back now, it was a complete abuse of his power and position, and he should not have been offering to do that kind of thing. Mr. Bird said Wootton contacted him first on Facebook, claiming there is one person who I'm working for at the moment who's really keen to get you for work. In later messages, Wootton changed it to 2 people I'm working with, adding, "It's just a test shoot, so low key, not for publication, will still pay obviously. Just you in various sportswear, swimwear, underwear, which I'll run by the man I'm working for before he decides to do a full shoot, which could be for publication, just to be certain. Could you text or email me for a quick shoot with you shirtless now? I'm pretty sure you want to go ahead now because we don't necessarily need you mega ripped anyway," he said. Wootton followed up the shoot with their being at mine at E1, adding that they'll also want to know if you will do a couple of nude shoots too, because they do a lot of that and they don't necessarily need your face in. Mr. Bird declined and told Byline Times, "I wasn't having any of that." During their interactions, Wootton gave Mr. Bird his personal email address, the same email address he uses to this day. Last week, this newspaper revealed that a password connected to that address had been publicly exposed in 2018's data breach and was identical to passwords revealed in the same breach connected to the emails of Martin Brannan and Marina Joseph, 2 for someone's used to harass men and supply sexual imagery. At least one victim claimed to have been coercively controlled by Brannan for 10 years as a result. Yeah, we read up about the data breach with regards to that, and obviously that they confirmed the connection between Dan Wootton and the 2 aliases names that he used on these victims. Test shoot tactics. Wootton was The Sun's associate editor in 2016 when he approached the X Factor singer, who has asked not to be named, to pose for a photo shoot in his home, which Wootton claimed he had done with a number of other well-known celebrities. The celebrity singer, "I was there to do a promotional thing with the paper. Dan Wootton was a big deal. Everyone knew he was the most powerful journalist in showbiz. I obviously said no, and I didn't ask which celebrities he was referring to, also having claimed to have photographed at his home. I wasn't vaguely interested in getting involved. It felt weird, because every prior engagement had been on a professional basis for the newspaper. I was thinking, why would that benefit me, and what would I get from that?" Another celebrity who Byline Times is not identifying did accept Wootton's offer. He said, "Dan invited me to do a test shoot for some underwear brand for £1,000. I went along thinking it's a semi-pro shoot and it might help my career because Dan at the time was on ITV's Lorraine show and working for the biggest paper. The studio was just his front room. It felt really awkward, especially since he was well known. There was nobody else there, just us. There was no backdrop or anything like that. Despite Dan telling me it was a shoot for these brands, he just gave me normal boxer shorts to wear and I changed into him in his bedroom. I thought it was all strange, but rolled with it. He was so influential, I didn't want to offend him somehow. Then the stuff he asked me to wear became more and more revealing and alarm bells started to ring. He brought out latex stuff, which I refused to wear. He also asked me to pose nude, but I refused to do that too. The whole situation was weird and was not what I was expecting. Dan refused to pay me the full fee we agreed because I wouldn't go nude. It creeped me out. Well, he didn't originally offer that, did he? So the fact that he didn't even offer the full pay. But it's so freaky. Like, just pushing the buttons. How much of it can he push, you know? Yeah, it's just pushing the buttons there. I'm just going to switch quickly to my node cam because I just want to show. I don't know if you guys can see there. On the right hand side there. No, it's a bit too short for you guys. I can't seem to get there. I'll basically just read it out to you. Sorry, I wasn't expecting that. So basically it was the text message saying, hey dude, news shots are usually a couple at the end, don't necessarily need your face in it, just one in the area, do a lot of work. It's real chill tomorrow though because it's not a studio or anything. Literally it's just a test shoot. They'll send some sportswear, swimwear and lots of underwear, but it would be good if you could bring some of your underwear and then some of your clothing out of clothes. Ideally tight fitting or tight things that show off your body. So where is your meeting at 3? Do you want to say meeting at 4:30 or 5? And he gives the address, basically, is what Dan says. So pushing that agenda according to that message there, guys. It was thrilled and fantasy and power dynamic. In the third case, Dan Wootton approached the only way in Essex star Norcoss on his own personal number via WhatsApp. This time was on the September the 7th, 2019, and then again on the 10th of September 2019 at 2 AM, following the TV Choice Awards, which Wootton attended on behalf of the Sun. It would be weird for anyone to be messaging me at that time of the morning, but for Dan, it would be doing it to discuss modelling shoots, which was extra weird, said Mr. Norcoss, who appeared in Tally between 2010 and 2013, as well as Celebrity Big Brother in 2012 and X on the Beach in 2015. Again, Wootton's approach using the customary agreement of "Hey man" was to make a modelling proposition, which Mr. Norcoss declined. Following the publication of the first part of the newspaper's special investigation, Wootton reached out to Mr. Norcoss last month to ask him to contribute to a crowdfunding which he had stalled at $38,000 on the way to $150,000 total, to apparently finance legal action against Byline Times after it unmasked Wootton as Martin Brannan and Marina Joseph. Can you imagine the audacity of asking someone you have targeted in this way to help you fund your legal costs? Mr. Norcoss said. It was so desperate. I would encourage anyone who has an inappropriate interaction with Dan Wootton to come forward and share their stories so we can get to know the true scale of these activities. Just before going any further, the text message on the right hand side. This is so message. It says, "Hey man, hi mate, everything okay? Yeah, great. Yourself? All good, thanks. Can I help you with anything? Okay then, never mind. LOL." And it says, "Sorry man, I was just tied up, not literally. Yes, wanting to speak about the modelling thing we never sorted," basically. So Dan there obviously trying to, and that was about 7 o'clock, roughly between 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock in the evening, that message. Byline Times has covered other non-celebrity incidences in which Wootton replied upon the financial power affordability by his profession to enable extremely inappropriate behaviour. In an example, from 25th of April 2018, Wootton booked a home visit via a reputable agency for a sports massage from a 21-year-old male trainee osteopath. During the visit, Monsieur, a straight man whose photo was advertedly on the agency's website, revealed to Wootton that he was struggling financially to pay his rent in London. 4 minutes after leaving Wootton's E1 address, the Monsieur received a text from Wootton, but not from Wootton's own mobile number. Instead, the messages appeared to come from a number with a landline code for Royston, Hertfordshire. The open messages reads, "Hey man, thank you so much for that. No, you just then read double rent, etc. Didn't want to ask you while I was here in case you were not interested, but I could potentially get you some type of extra. How? I have £1,000 budget, so very, very good money. Let me know if you go too far. Thanks." When the Monsieur said no, stressing that his views were strictly professional, Wootton persisted by offering modelling work outside of massage, this time for £2,000 on the basis that it would be totally confidential between us only, with the offer to immediate payment in return for posing for a new photo shoot. The Monsieur, speaking on the condition of autonomy, said most kind people would feel sympathetic for my financial situation. Dan used it as tactics to try to get me to do something extremely inappropriate. I felt so shocked, uneasy. Adding that he felt deliberately targeted by Wootton because of his looks, the Monsieur added that during the client's rapid building progress, Wootton spoke about his own job. Basically, the message I just said is the one on the right hand side, in case you're wondering what that one was. The Monsieur went on around his house. He had signed things and asked him that he was confirmed that he was a showbiz journalist, and that I looked him up afterwards. He added nothing about the appointment itself was an all sinister, and I didn't expect what came next. I felt my position at the time was taken advantage of, and I think for Dan it was the thrill and fantasy of power dynamic. Like having the money, you're at my house and I'm going to test your resolve and try to take advantage of you. The role was my first experience of working privately, and it was the first time anything like this had happened. I always prided myself on being professional, and I thought it's this what it was always like. I felt vulnerable and exploited. Why is he not been arrested yet, guys? You know, this needs to be. Why are the Metropolitan Police sitting on this? Byline Times' latest revelation about Wootton's private and professional conduct raises questions about the safeguarding for the Sun, the Daily Mail and ITV, according to the Professor of Media Law of the University of Leeds, Paul Ragg. These stories raise profound and deeply troubled public interest concerns, he said. Underlying it's a whole abuse of power and a well-established legal principle that those who hold power, whether in government or in private organisations, it must be subject to public scrutiny when their conduct falls so far below the standards expected. Here we have a serious safeguard concerns that demand an explanation from the ITV, the Daily Mail and the Sun as to one of its employees was able to use his own status and charisma of his role to seduce others to bend to his will to satisfy his own prejudices without consequences. Representatives from Dan Wootton did not comment, but this week told the Guardian newspaper that Wootton did not at any time contact current or former colleagues at The Sun with offers of money in return for sexually exploited images, and did not engage in inappropriate behaviour in his workplace. He has never denied being or being connected to Martin Brown or Marina Joseph, but denies all allegations of criminality. Byline Times has asked The Sun, ITV and the Mail whether any safeguard concerns were raised about Wootton during the course of his employment with them, and what, if any, action was taken. A spokesperson for ITV said, "At ITV we work very hard to create an inclusive and collaborative culture. We take responsibility of our duty and care of talent and employees very seriously, and we have a system of processes including speaking up for formal grieving processes. For any complaints to be raised additionally, we would always encourage individuals to come forward and share their experience with us via our reported line safe call. Due to the care of our staff freelancers, the principle of the utmost importance, we have significantly strengthened the care to all those who have taken part in our shows over the past 5 years. We now believe we are in an industry-leading standard for selection, protection and support of participants." A spokesman for the DMD Media, publisher of the Mail, said, "We are not aware of any safeguarding issues raised in relation to the Dan's period for working as a freelance columnist for us. This newspaper has information regarding other individuals in the public eye and their interactions with Dan Wootton, which will be published in due course as part of the second phase of this Media 2 investigation." And as far as I'm aware, this is at the time of this recording, which is, I am recording this on Friday just for anyone's reference. It's still, like, he's still there, guys. He's still doing his show on GB News, and it's kind of like, why? Why are you still doing the show? Like, the guy needs to literally disappear completely until a criminal investigation needs to be taking place. The Metropolitan Police needs to thoroughly investigate this. Right now they've been very silent on this. Now that could possibly change by the time you guys see this video, but I think it's ridiculous that he's they're trying to carry on as normal. When is this going to change? I just don't understand it, guys. I really don't. This needs to he needs to be investigated. He needs to be pulled out of the public limelight right now, and he needs to address these issues. He's not denying them. That's the other thing. He's not denying the stories, the cases. He's denying that he's done anything. He's denying he's done anything wrong. But when there's people coming out, because now a lot more people are coming out and saying that he's done these things, it's very hard to defend yourself. And I think for the benefit of the British public, he needs to come off GB News, and the police need to really do step up their involvement in this, because Byline Times keep coming out with more and more stuff. I mean, in the 8th part of this, guys, 8th part. How many more is there to come? That is the question. What do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments below. Like, share, and subscribe. I might even put this out earlier rather than wait. I might put this out earlier for you guys. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe as always, and I'll catch you all very, very soon.